Starting with Arithmetic 2. Arithmetic 2 contains all these subtopics, and let's have a look at all of them. In arithmetic problems, we first have simple word problems. So, for example, write down the remainder when 365 is divided by 7. While you're doing the question, it's important to note that 365 is the number of days in a year, and 7 is the number of days in a week. So maybe the next part is something related to that. So when you divide 365 by 7, so the remainder is just simply 1 because 364 is divisible by 7, and then you're left with a remainder of 1. The next part says there were 365 days in the year 1993. The first day of the year was a Friday. And on what day of the week did 1994 begin? So since we know that the number of days in a year divided by the number of days in a week is coming out as x, for example, but the remainder is 1. So Friday, taken over all of these weeks, x number of weeks, we get Friday again. But 1 day is still left, and so we'll add that 1 day to get Saturday. And so the answer is Saturday. Ratio in percentage. 6:3 becomes 2:1. This is a ratio. How can I convert it to 2:1? Because ratio is the simplest form of expressing two values that have this symbol in between. I can treat my ratios as a fraction, which is why I can convert 6:3 to 2:1. Again, we discussed treated like a fraction, x is to y can also be said to be x upon y. Now we have a question. There is a bag of rice of 22 kilograms distributed among 3 people in the ratio 5:4:2. What was the largest amount of rice one of them received? You have 22 kg in total. You distribute it in the ratio 5:4:2. How do you distribute that? You first add all the values in the ratio. So 5 plus 4 plus 2 gives you 11. And so there are 11 sections, 11 numbers, 11 values, and you want to divide 22 kg between them. Every value, every section gets 2 kilograms of rice. And now when we have the ratio, since for every one section we have 2 kilograms of rice, let's see, for 2 sections, how much would we have? We'd have 4 kilograms of rice. And for 4 sections, we'd have 4 into 2, 8 kilograms of rice. And for 5, we'd have 10 kilograms. And when you add 10 and 8 and 4, you're going to get 22 kg. So what was the largest amount of rice one of them received? It's 10, obviously. The one who had 5 portions is getting 10 kilograms because every portion is receiving 2 kilograms of rice. A bag of sweets costs rupees 50. The cost was increased by 20%. What is the new cost? We can use a very simple formula for this. Old percentage is to new percentage is equals to old value is to new value. So what was my old percentage? My old percentage is always going to be 100. No exceptions. And my new percentage is going to be the one given in the question plus the old percentage. If it's increased and if it's decreased, then 100 minus the given percentage. So this becomes 120. So 100 is to 120 is equals to the old price or the old value. 50 is the old value. And you want to find the new value, so let's term it as x. We can easily do that by treating them by fractions, and that's just a simple equation. Another question. Sarah works 2 hours a day. Her weekly pay is $100. So if in 7 days she's working for 2 hours a day, that makes 14 hours, and her weekly pay becomes $100. But then, what does the question say after that? Calculate how much she earns per minute if she has an off on Sundays. So that means she's working 6 hours a week, 6 days a week. 2 hours per day, 6 days a week, 12 hours, not 14. That's why reading the whole question is important. Calculate how much she earns per minute if she has an off on Sundays. So let's see how we're going to do that. She's working for 12 hours, and for 12 hours, she's getting a pay of 100. And so 12 into 60. Why are we doing 12 into 60? Because they're 12 hours, and we need to convert it into minutes first. So we get 720. And in 720 minutes, she's getting $100. And so in 1 minute, how many dollars is she getting? X dollars, because we don't know the value. Let's cross multiply. And through that, we get $0.14 per minute. Express cost price as a percentage of sales price. If they ever ask you to express a value as a percentage of another value, you write the first value in the numerator, the second value in the denominator, and you're going to multiply it by 100. So cost price upon sales price into 100. And then now let's move to the subtopic of profit, loss, and discount. This just includes a lot of formulas that you need to memorize. And they're not very difficult to memorize. So the first one is profit is equals to sales price minus cost price. What is sales price or selling price? Sales price is the price at which your object is sold. So if a shopkeeper is selling an object at $10, so that's your sales price. Cost price is the one at which the shopkeeper bought it from the retailer or from the factory or whatever. And so if a shopkeeper bought an eraser for $2 and he sold it at $4, the cost price is $2 and the sales price is $4, because the cost price is the actual value of the eraser, but the sales price is the value at which the salesman is selling it after keeping a profit for himself. And what profit does he keep? If the eraser has a cost price of $2, he sells it at $4, so there's a profit of 2. Why? Because sales price 4 minus cost price 2 is equals to profit, that is 2. Then the profit percentage is equals to the profit upon the cost price into 100. That's the formula for profit percentage. And the loss has a formula of cost price minus sales price, which is the opposite of profit, because loss is the opposite of profit. So how can I explain that? If a shopkeeper bought an eraser for $3, but he had to sell it at $2 due to unfortunate conditions. For example, nobody was buying that eraser, and he had to decrease the value. So if he had bought it for $3 and he's selling it at $2, then his loss becomes $1 according to the formula. And loss percentage is loss upon cost price into 100. Discount is market price minus sales price. What is the market price? Once again, the market price and the cost price are the same things. The market price is the one that is the actual value of the commodity. And so that becomes my discount when I am subtracting the sales price from the market price. And then the formula for discount percentage is discount upon market price into 100. Let's move on to simple interest. That's a little bit of a difficult topic. The formula for simple interest is PRT upon 100. What's P? P is my principal amount, the amount I am investing in the bank. R is the rate of interest per annum or per year. And if R is not given in a term that is in per annum, for example, if it's 2% per month, we're going to convert it to per annum. So 2% per month means 2 into 12, 24% per annum. And then T is time. So the time given for the time that the principal amount remains in the bank. That is also going to be in years. And if it isn't, you're going to convert the month into years. So 5 months will not convert to 0.5 because 0.5 year or half of a year is 6 months. We need to be careful about that. And then when I have the simple interest is simply the amount added to my principal amount. So for example, I gave $100 and I received a simple interest of $2. So $2 is my simple interest. But if I want to calculate the total amount I have, I'm going to add my principal to my simple interest. So I'm going to add 100 to 2, and that gives me 102.